previous video, we have been building this beautiful kitchen frame. I even already put some slides here for the drawers that are going to be in here. But today we are going to put the new kitchen counter on here, which is going to look like this. Awesome, right? So this is the kitchen counter that we bought with the beautiful darker color to contrast the white walls. And I wanted to show you the sink that we have got already, which is dark as well. We were looking for a black sink, which is not too big. It's probably one of the smallest we could find, at least in this color. Today we're going to trace the outline. Just going to sit somewhere on here, but it's going to be underneath the kitchen counter, and then we use the bit of wood that we're going to cut out as the thing that is going to, you know, lay on top, like in my other van too. So today we're going to cut this out, and what we got as well is a very nice tap, black too, you know, gotta match those colors. And it's looking like something like this, even with like one of those takeout things. I think it looks pretty neat. It feels a bit plasticky because it was kind of cheap. I think it was like 60 bucks, which is a lot for a tap. But if you would get a more high quality one, which is probably not going to feel so plasticky, then you spend around 150 or something like that. So I'm very okay with that because we didn't spend too much, and it is black, so yeah, it feels alright. The sink sits right where it needs to be right now. We measured it from the front and the sides. It comes with those brackets, but we're not going to use that. We've got a genius idea that we're just going to use some wood, like on my old van. I'm just going to use some wood, put it on the sides, and then just drill right through into the other wood. Yeah, so now it is in the right position. The only thing we have to do now is just going to sketch it out from the inside so that we know where the outline is. We're going to cut it out, and then it should all be good to go. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Ready. Alright, so you can't really see the outline, but it's already done. The very hard thing about this whole approach is that you just want to have a nice cut on the sides. You don't want to have any holes where you're going to put the saw in. So in order to do that, we're just going to do a couple of tiny holes right on the line, and then we're going to try to make them as small as possible to still fit the saw inside, and then just going to do that for each side, and then we can go on one way and the other way, and hopefully that will give us a very nice cut out. First of all, we do want to have this board that we're going to have cut out laying on the sides of this sink, and so we need to make the sides that we drawn here a little bit bigger so that it's actually going to sit on the side. Another evening in the van, and I've just been filing off the edges of the sink cutout as well as the corners, and now I'm ready to put in the sink from underneath. I don't have the right measurements underneath, but I did put some tapes here where the sink sits, so that makes it easier now because I want to have the hole for the tap first, because when the sink is underneath it kind of makes it hard to drill stuff, you know. And so it is good that we have the measurements still here, so that now I can just put the sink on top of here, because it will be the same when it's mounted from the bottom. At least I guess so, hope so. And for the tap, we're gonna have this screwed. And for the tap, we're gonna have this screwed from the bottom. So this indicates where the hole is gonna sit. So if you can imagine, this whole thing is gonna be mounted from the bottom. And obviously I don't wanna go through the metal of the sink, so I can just lay it right on the side here and do a measurements from there. I've already marked it where I want to have it. And so now I can do the cutout for the tap, and then I don't have to drill or cut anything more or anything else really. And so then I can turn the whole thing around, align the sink, put in the tap, and we're ready to go. Okay, the sink sits right where it needs to be right now because it is the bottom side, and we even marked it. We marked it with some tape because it already moved a bit. So now I can just put it back into place, and we're ready to screw it on because we cut out a piece of wood already that we're gonna, clamp it on with. So we're gonna have this on that side, another one here. One in the back, which is a bit smaller because we don't have too much space. One up the front here, and one on the side. Not bad. Okay, now the best part. This fella here. That looks pretty good. Got tiny gaps in the sides, but I reckon we're gonna fill up the sides with some I don't know, silicone or something like that, just to make it watertight so that no water is gonna come into the sides. And now for the most important part, I'm gonna put in the new tap. Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. Imagine water coming out of here. Awesome. The tap and the sink is installed, and the kitchen counter, everything on top, and this is done. Everything underneath we still have to do, but this is going to be covered in separate videos. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in one of the next videos. Until then, See you later.
Boy.